She secretly misses you, but the sign is not always in what she says. Sometimes it is in the way she returns to your energy without being brave enough to return to your life. Most men misunderstand this moment completely. They think if a woman misses them, she will simply say it. She will text directly. She will apologize clearly. She will come back with open emotion and admit, I miss you. But human emotion is rarely that simple, especially when pride is involved, especially when history is involved, especially when she does not know whether you are still emotionally available, especially when she is afraid that admitting she misses you will give you power over her. So instead of saying it clearly, she shows it indirectly. Not always. Not every woman, not every silence, not every small signal. A mature man must understand that clearly. You do not turn every glance, every story view, every delayed reply, or every memory into proof that she wants you back. That is not wisdom. That is emotional hunger looking for evidence. But sometimes when a woman starts missing you and cannot admit it, her behavior changes in small ways. Her energy starts circling back. Her curiosity returns. Her tone softens. Her attention appears in places where it had disappeared. She may not say your name with emotion, but she begins reacting to the space you left behind. And this is where the real test begins. Not for her, for you. Because when a woman starts missing you, many men lose the very calm that made her feel your absence in the first place. They get too excited. They chase too quickly. They ask too many questions. They try to force a confession. They start thinking, now she wants me back. And just like that, the mature masculine presence disappears. A woman's missing does not give you permission to become careless with your dignity. It gives you information, and information must be read calmly. A woman may miss your presence before she is ready to admit she made a mistake. She may miss the way you listened, but still resist reaching out. She may miss the safety you gave, but still protect her pride. She may miss the man you were becoming, but not know how to step back into the connection without feeling exposed. This is why her signals may come sideways. She may ask about you through someone else, not directly, not boldly, just a casual question that is not really casual. How is he doing? Is he still working on that thing? Did he move? Is he seeing anyone? To a reactive man, this becomes fuel for fantasy. He hears one question and builds a whole future around it. But a mature man sees it for what it is. Curiosity. Curiosity matters, but curiosity is not commitment. That distinction protects you. Because missing someone does not automatically mean she is ready to return with respect, honesty, and emotional maturity. A woman can miss you and still be confused. She can miss you and still be proud. She can miss you and still not know how to treat you properly. She can miss you and still not be ready for anything healthy. This is why the mature man does not rush. He observes. He listens. He lets the pattern reveal itself. Another sign is when she creates small reasons to reappear. She may send a message that seems practical. Do you remember the name of that place? I found something that reminded me of you. Did you still have that contact? I just wanted to ask something quick. On the surface, it looks simple, but underneath there may be emotional testing. She wants to see whether the door is still open without having to admit she is standing near it. A woman who misses you but does not want to admit it may choose a reason that protects her pride. If you respond coldly, she can tell herself she was only asking a question. If you respond warmly, she can feel whether the emotional temperature is still safe. That is the hidden dance. But here is where men ruin it. They immediately become intense. They say, "So now you miss me?" They ask, "Why are you really texting me?" They start demanding emotional honesty before she has even shown enough consistency. That pressure can make her close again, not because she had no feelings, because your reaction made the space unsafe. A mature man does not need to expose everything in the first moment. He responds calmly, warm but not desperate, open but not overly available, respectful but not emotionally hungry. That balance is powerful because it shows her that your peace did not disappear while she was gone. And that may affect her more than anything you say. The deeper truth is this: women often miss the feeling of a man before they admit they miss the man. They miss how steady he was, how calm he felt, how he did not pressure them, how he listened, how he made them feel seen without making them feel trapped, how his attention had weight because he did not throw it everywhere. And sometimes she only understands the value of that presence after she no longer has full access to it. That is why absence reveals value, but only when the man does not destroy the absence by chasing. If you keep forcing your presence into her life, she never has to feel the weight of losing it. If you keep texting, explaining, checking, asking, watching, and reminding, you do not create space for reflection. You create noise, and noise makes it hard for a woman to miss you clearly. A mature man understands that silence is not always punishment. Sometimes silence is respect. Respect for yourself, respect for the truth, respect for the space needed to see what is real. When a woman starts missing you, she may also become strangely emotional when your name appears, when a memory comes up, or when she sees you calm and unaffected. She may act normal, but her energy shifts. Maybe her tone changes. Maybe she becomes curious and then defensive. Maybe she acts cold right after showing warmth. Maybe she tries to make it seem like she does not care, but she keeps returning to the same emotional doorway. This is where men must be careful. A woman hiding emotion may not look soft. Sometimes she looks distant. Sometimes she looks irritated. Sometimes she acts like your calm bothers her. Why? Because your calm reminds her that you are no longer chasing. And when a man stops chasing, a woman may be forced to feel what she avoided while he was available. This does not mean you become cruel. This does not mean you play games. This does not mean you act superior. It means you stop using desperation to keep someone close. That is emotional maturity. A woman may secretly miss you and still test whether you are the same reactive man she could pull back into old patterns. She may say something small to see if you bite. She may mention the past to see if you become emotional. She may give warmth and then withdraw to see if you chase. And the mature response is not to perform indifference. It is to stay centered. There is a difference. Fake indifference says, I want you to think I do not care. Real center says, I care, but I am not controlled by caring. That is rare. Many men only have two settings, chase or punish. If she comes closer, they chase. If she pulls back, they punish. But mature masculinity has a third path, calm presence with boundaries. You can respond with kindness without begging. You can hear her out without forgetting what happened. You can be open without becoming blind. You can forgive without immediately restoring full access. You can care without surrendering your self-respect. This is the balance older men must master. Because by a certain age, you should not be moved around by every emotional wave. You should not become a boy again every time a woman shows a little softness. You should not abandon your standards because she sends one warm message after a long silence. Your heart can be open, but your eyes must stay open too. Here is your action step. If a woman from your past begins showing small signs that she misses you, do not ask for a confession immediately. Do not chase the signal. Do not interrogate the moment. Instead, watch for three things: consistency, accountability, and respect. Consistency shows whether her interest has weight. Accountability shows whether she understands what happened. Respect shows whether she can approach you without playing with your emotions. If those three are missing, her missing may be real, but it may not be healthy. That one distinction can save you from repeating the same pain. A woman missing you is emotional. A woman respecting you is relational. Do not confuse the two. Some men get excited because she misses them, but they forget to ask whether she has changed enough to treat them better. That is the trap. Missing is not the same as maturity. A woman can miss your attention and still not value your heart. She can miss your consistency and still not offer consistency back. She can miss your calm and still bring chaos. She can miss your presence and still avoid accountability. A mature man does not accept return simply because he was missed. He watches how she returns. That is where wisdom lives. If she returns with blame, games, indirect jealousy, emotional confusion, and no respect, stay calm. Do not get pulled back into the storm because you enjoy being remembered. Being missed is not the same as being valued. But if she returns with softness, honesty, humility, effort, And respect, then you can respond differently. You can allow a conversation, you can listen, you can see what is real, but still, slowly. Because mature men do not rush into old doors just because they opened again. They check what is behind them. Another sign she may secretly miss you is when she becomes curious about your growth. She wants to know if you are doing better, if you are calmer, if you are healthier, if you are more disciplined, if your life improved without her. This can create a quiet emotional conflict inside her. A woman may feel happy that you are doing well, but also uncomfortable that you did not collapse without her. That is human. When someone expects to be the center of your emotional world, your peace without them can feel surprising. But a mature man does not use his growth as revenge. He does not improve to make her regret. He improves because his life belongs to him. That difference matters. If your growth is only a performance to make her miss you, you are still emotionally attached to her reaction. But if your growth is real, her reaction becomes secondary. And that is exactly what makes your presence stronger, because a man who is building himself for himself carries a different energy. He is not waiting by the emotional window hoping someone returns. He is moving, quietly, consistently, with dignity. And sometimes, that dignity becomes the very thing she starts missing. Not the old version of you who explained too much, not the version who begged to be understood, not the version who tried to keep peace by betraying himself, but the version who became calm enough to stop forcing love from someone who was not ready to give it properly. That is powerful. And it can awaken feelings in a woman she thought were gone. But again, you must remain wise. Do not mistake her nostalgia for commitment. Nostalgia is emotional memory. Commitment is present action. A woman may miss the past but still not be ready to build anything new. A mature man respects that reality. He does not let memory hypnotize him. He knows the past can feel beautiful from a distance because distance removes the difficult parts. That is why he watches behavior, not just emotion. If she secretly misses you, she may become softer when talking about the past. She may remember small things. She may bring up moments only someone emotionally connected would remember. She may act like she is simply being casual, but the details reveal that your presence still lives somewhere in her mind. A song, a place, a phrase, a habit, a small memory. These things can become emotional doors. But the mature man does not rush through every door that opens. He stands calmly at the doorway and sees whether there is respect on the other side. That is self-control. And self-control is what makes a man powerful in emotionally complicated moments. The question is not, does she miss me? The better question is, what kind of man do I become when I think she misses me? Do you become anxious? Do you become proud? Do you become careless? Do you become desperate? Do you start checking everything again? Do you abandon your routine? Do you forget your standards? Or do you remain steady? Because if her missing you makes you lose yourself, then you have not truly mastered the lesson. A woman secretly missing you can feel good. It can touch the ego. It can make you feel seen again. But a mature man does not let his ego drive. He lets wisdom drive. Wisdom says, observe. Wisdom says, stay respectful. Wisdom says, do not chase a confession. Wisdom says, let actions reveal truth. Wisdom says, do not confuse attention with accountability. Wisdom says, protect your peace. And sometimes, protecting your peace means not reopening a door just because someone knocks softly. That is not bitterness. That is maturity. You can wish her well and still choose yourself. You can hear her out and still move slowly. You can care about her and still require respect. You can understand her fear and still refuse emotional games. This is the kind of balance that separates a reactive man from a grounded man. The reactive man hears, she misses you, and immediately wants a strategy to pull her back. The grounded man hears it and asks, is this healthy? Is this respectful? Is this aligned with who I am becoming? That is the higher level, because the goal is not to make a woman admit she misses you. The goal is to become the kind of man who does not need admission to feel valuable. If she misses you, let her actions become clear. If she respects you, let her behavior become consistent. If she wants to return, let her approach with maturity, and if she cannot, let your silence remain clean. No revenge, no bitterness, no dramatic performance, just dignity. That is the silver signal. A woman may secretly miss you. She may circle back with indirect signs. She may watch your life from a distance. She may become curious about your growth. She may remember moments she pretends not to care about. But the mature man does not lose his center because someone from the past feels something again. He stays calm. He reads the pattern. He respects the truth. And he chooses himself first, not from arrogance, but from self-respect. Because the strongest men are not the men women never miss. The strongest men are the men who can be missed without becoming controlled by it. And in the next video, you need to understand how women test the man they secretly want, because sometimes the test is not meant to push you away. Sometimes it is meant to see whether you are truly strong enough to come closer.